Ladies and gentlemen, 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 welcome back to the channel. In tonight's video, I want to drop some inspiration on you. And as I was pondering what to talk about in tonight's video, do I just do ASMR like a normal person, or do I not do the normal person thing like I usually do and just talk about a thing? And that's what we're going to be doing. And I wanted to make this inspirational because you know I love to pair ASMR with things that make you want to do anything but sleep. So I figured, if I inspire someone as they fall asleep, I just feel like I tend to either go existential or motivational, which is a weird combination with ASMR. But this is actually very inspired. I can literally feel that this will just naturally arise and the words will flow because I'm living it right now. And the inspirational message here is to do something. Big claim right there. But what I mean is, now, maybe I'm talking more business, right? Because I think everything's great. I mean, working out is amazing. Going on a run is great. There's a million things you can name that's good for you. I really can't see. I shouldn't be worrying about my hair, but the glasses are off, and I'm just seeing again, I've explained this a million times. My vision is atrocious, but anyway, I'm talking more like businessy because I think the more I think about entrepreneurship, it starts to become this alchemy. I've heard people describe it as alchemy, right? And that sometimes I think, money's bad, like all this stuff, and then I just get to a point where I'm like, I think the next level of who I am comes from money. And truthfully, I'll just give you my background. I live with my parents. I haven't moved. I have not traveled too much in my life. Still live an amazing life. I'm not saying by all means I've lived an awesome, great parents, great everything, but not also to make that sound overly whatever. You understand? It's been okay. I'm not saying I'm suffering over here, but my point is I haven't really travel as much as I want to, been able to really live my own life, isolated, or not isolated, but when you never leave your hometown, you're kind of just come on, you're not growing as a person, I would say. And I still think there are things I am doing to grow. I'm trying to run. I've been working out for a while, but I'm running now. I'm taking health pretty seriously, doing a deep dive there. So there's ways I'm trying to grow, but just never left the hometown. There's a lot of reasons that's probably just keeping me in the same spot. And where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So I feel like money's a little essential there because I'm well, if I want to experience the next level of who I am, it can't be in the place I've been for 20 years where everywhere I go reaffirms who I was before. And I need to feel this sense of okay, I'm in a new area, I'm with new people, we're on the same wavelength, all this, right? So that's why I'm particularly talking business, is because my mind is so oriented on what's the next way I level up. And for me, I can't, this is why I want to give everything I have to a YouTube channel or to a business or to all these things. At the end of the day, I mean, the reason I even go to college, I'll just be totally honest here, I don't even want to be in college right now. And I'm in college, literally. Why does everyone go to college? For money. I mean, let's just not pretend, right? So not to turn this into a little rant on that, but we can't pretend that most of the things we don't do are for money. So I'm looking at this from a very business perspective, start the YouTube channel, start the business. But again, feel free to take this. I mean, if you're thriving in business or you're thriving here and there and you just want to start, working out or running or taking something else seriously, this is your sign too. I'm not exclusively allowing this to setting this for money, but I think particularly people struggle post with business, right? And business is very broad. Like, I think YouTube is 100% a business. I mean, I would consider anyone who has a YouTube channel an entrepreneur. But this could mean anything, right? Like, outside of this channel, I'm still trying to start other things. But I think money is one where people just don't ever try to take the risk because it's risky. I mean, for one thing, right? But like, you're never told. There's no like instruction manual. There's no like guidebook for like how to grow a YouTube channel, or like, okay, there is a guidebook, but like, what niche do I go into? Do I start an ASMR channel where I rant about philosophy and inspiration? Do I do this? Do I do this? And no matter what you do, it's gonna take excuse my language, a shit ton of time, right? Still deciding if I'm family friendly here. I guarantee I have nobody that young watching my videos, and the younger kids probably don't care. But yeah, I think it's something that people, there's just no guidebook, right? And you're expected to go down this path, and most people do go down that path. And I'm not saying, I mean, if you want to go down that path, be my guest. But for everyone who goes down it and says, well, wait a minute, like, why is no one making, like, are we not seeing that guy made a YouTube channel and he's now following his absolute passion for whispering into a microphone? Like I'm doing this thing over here. Like, people don't realize, or maybe they do, but they just don't start it, is that, like, you can make money on the internet, right? Or, so, anyway, I say all that to say, that's kind of what's on my mind right now in terms of, like, telling myself, like, I am making the choices, but telling myself, okay, it is okay to, not only is it okay, I'm encouraging doing something, like doing a thing. Even though that I'm doing the thing, it's not over yet. I gotta keep doing the thing. I gotta figure out how I'm doing the thing wrong. How can I improve on the thing? Can I up the quantity? Can I up the quality, right? And it's this constant game of like leveling up, and this is why I think I hear people say entrepreneurship is alchemy. But that's what I want this video to be. I want this video to be the push that you may need, because I've been consuming a lot of content based around health, and I've also been consuming a lot of content based around existential, just like, life. But it's funny enough that they're actually linked, right? Because the more you think about health, the more it becomes very existential. It's like, okay, this is what matters, right? Like the health of cells and like mitochondria and your being as a whole, that's really what matters. So health has this way of putting existentialism in my mind into perspective, because it takes you out of like monotonous day-to-day things and says, okay, now that we're doing research on like food and all these things and like mitochondrial health and all this, now we're in this world of like, okay, what really matters here? And then you start to think like larger, like okay, individual cells. Like I'm listening to things on like earth and nature, like just really solid videos, to be honest. And the more I watch those, the more I get into these mindsets, and then I start to just think to myself, like, it's just so silly that you would ever cap yourself and you'd cap your own potential. And I will turn a new motivational speaker here, because at first I was like, look, does this even relate? Is this even useful for my audience, right? Like, and then I was like, it's useful for everybody, because everyone needs to hear this. I mean, unless you're someone who's absolutely fulfilling your maximum abilities. And again, even I'm not, I say that like I'm just like some higher up, but no, like, I mean, like, even me telling you that I am still not living up to my max abilities. But I was like, oh, is this something that I should talk about? Is this something that, someone would go in the comments and be like, wow, you're really speaking to me, or now I started a YouTube channel. And I was like, I have to become shameless with that stuff. I can't sit around and think to myself, oh, what if people just think this is cheesy, and what if this, and what if that? I need to put this out there, because I feel like now that there's even some recognition of like, okay, I'm getting a little bit of views, I want to hit people with the right thing. And it's become this this thing of like, okay, yeah, I'll tap on things, I'll whisper, I'll relax, I'll do that stuff, right? But every once in a while, I gotta hit you with this absolute just life, like boom, like what are you doing? Could you do more? Like, and I don't mean to say that in a sense of like you're trying to fall asleep, and I'm like, look at you, go for it, run an ultra marathon. Like, I'm not saying any of that, or like accomplish all your dreams right now at 11 o'clock at night when you're falling asleep to ASMR. But I do think there's something to be said too about like how you fall asleep and then you wake up with that energy. I've had that a few times where I've carried the energy from the night before and it kind of just rises with me. But yeah, I just kind of had that moment of like, what am I talking about on these, or like what is this about right now? I'm sitting here telling you, oh, take the risk, start the business, start the YouTube channel. Like, what does that even mean? But like, you know what it means, and if you don't know what it means, you have to figure it out. Like, don't lie to yourself too. If you've been thinking about a YouTube channel, or because YouTube channel, I always go with that one because it's the lowest barrier to entry. Like, if I say start that business, I mean, some people are like, what are you on about? What? Because maybe you're thinking like, okay, am I doing drop shipping? Am I doing something like SMMA? Am I opening a restaurant? Like, what do you want me to do, right? What does start that business mean? And again, you may know what that means because you've carried it around your whole life. But YouTube channel is the lowest barrier to entry because I'm like, dude, I'm a dude who sits in a red room and whispers into a microphone, and some people watch it, right? And again, that might not be your calling, but to say that like, oh, I don't want to be an entrepreneur, like, even if it was a YouTube channel, even if you could take, because YouTube, you can really do whatever you want. So it's like, that's why I think YouTube's like the best example. Is like, maybe this is really a video I could have said. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I could have saved this for like the end of 2023 because this would, and I'll probably make a video similar to it, to just be like, go do the thing. But I'm serious because like as I watch these health videos, and there's just this heavy correlation of my brain in so many ways is just stuck in the existential, and I don't know how it couldn't be, right? And you know this if you watch this channel. But when you get in that zone, you start to realize what actually matters, and you start to realize that what matters is that you're making progress, and what matters is that you are not capping yourself, and that you are not stopping choices that you would. I'm getting a text on my phone. Let's see what this is. Nothing too important. But yeah, like, yeah, and I don't know what led me to this. I don't know why again, because I was standing here, rather, and I was just like, why am I making this? Like, what am I making an ASMR to tell you to go do something, or like just Tony Robbins speech it and do whatever? But kinda, yeah. I want to be a catalyst for something. I want to, because it really does take a person saying a thing. Like, that's something I've realized too over my entire life, is like, or at least I guess more recently, is that if there was someone around to say the thing, like the reason I do certain things, I eat certain foods right now, is literally because I have someone there who's like, oh, yeah, I read the studies, and this is what, you know what I mean? But it's funny because if that person wasn't there, I maybe wouldn't have done the research myself, and then I wouldn't be taking the actions. But let's take it away from food. Like, I could bring this up on any level, right? On a motivational level. Like, sometimes you actually just need some silent ASMR kid to just be like, oh, remember, like, you should do this. And I'm starting to realize that more and more, is that you could say there's no real effect, but I don't know that. I don't know if this will hit someone at the right place, right time, and the message resonates and they do something. Because I can't help but think that now that I have this newfound motivation for the channel, I have a vision. And that's something I never had before. I never had this like, oh, we're gonna get to 1 million. It was just like, just post. And now I'm like, know, I'm like, this is going somewhere. And I just hit 1,000. And someone left a comment that said, on the way to 1 million soon or something like that. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you damn right we are. Because now I see it. Like, now I can see it happening, and now I have this vision. And it's something that, like, everyone craves. Like, everyone wants that. And I'm very grateful for it, because now it's like, now I get to enjoy the journey. Because this whole time I thought I was racing to the end point. But this is just the beginning, right? Like 1,000 is the beginning. The rest is the journey. Like the rest of it is the journey. But the majority of it's the journey. There really is no end point. But now I'm seeing that, because originally I didn't know what I was doing. I was just posting. I was just doing whatever. And like I was all over the place. And because of that, I didn't feel like I could enjoy it. But now that I feel like there's some momentum, I'm starting to feel like now I can enjoy and grow at the same time. And that's a beautiful thing, right? Is that like, you kind of know deep down, you're like, I'm headed where I want to go. And I can see it, and I can see me getting there slowly, slowly, slowly. And as long as there's progress, we're rolling. And that's what I think I'm trying to tell you guys here, is start something where you can see that progress. So the entire reason that I even make this video right now is because I feel this obligation that even though I am not at 1 million subscribers, even though I do not get 10 million views per video, that is a lot of views, even though I may be way out of my league, I guess, in terms of what I'm saying, I can feel the tug of just like, I'm headed where I want to go. And that's just from where I'm at now, but I do believe that. I do believe I'm headed in the right direction. Hopefully I didn't get too far away from the mic there. It's kind of at an angle, so I don't really know if that affects it. But yeah, that's why I'm making this. It's because it's this inspired action of now that I'm not even where I want to be. Well, I guess I am, but I'm not. But like, even though, like I said, I'm not at these insane milestones or anything, and I may seem out of my league, I can see there's growth, and that, I mean, really, that's what matters. And because I'm seeing that with this YouTube channel, it's pushing me to like tell other people to like, dude, start a channel, like, or start something, right? Again, it doesn't have to be business related, but I did talk a little bit about business. But again, even a YouTube channel, like, that's not. It depends on what type of channel you start and how much time you put into it. But you know what I mean, like. Yeah, but I think that's really where that came from, because there's just this pent-up thing inside of me where I'm just like, damn, I'm very grateful for what's been happening with the channel as of late, and all you really need is to move. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't get that you don't need what you think you need. Like, I thought I needed 10k subs, 100k subs, 1 million subs. Well, one, you don't just get a lump sum of subs, right? It's a slow process, but all you need is growth. That's it. Like, if you started a YouTube channel right now and you just gained 50 subs every day, you just gained a few, wouldn't that feel good? And wouldn't that make you be like, oh, I'm gonna make another video, and then you gain another 50, and you get this feedback loop of like, every time I make a video, I gain subs, I gain watch time, like, you know what I mean? And it's this feedback loop of like, you don't actually even need whatever you think you need. You just need improvement. If you started a business right now and it made $30, and then the next day it made $30, that's pretty good. I mean, you're just making $30 every day. Again, I'm making this sound super simplistic. It's a weird example, but still, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, if we can just find a way to just do more of this, scale this up the quantity, up the quality, up both, right? That's all you need. It's just these. It's just, you need actions. How do I say this? You do inputs, you get outputs, right? it's a simple equation. It's like, okay, you want an output. Most people don't do inputs, so they don't get outputs. But even there's sometimes where you do inputs and you don't get an output, meaning like maybe I was putting work into the channel and I didn't feel like, I mean, I still gained subs, I still got views, but wasn't anything substantial. But the moment you get that of like, okay, I'm putting in an input and I'm actually getting the output, you got it. And that's all you need. Like, that is the equation to succeed in anything. Is like, think about it. Like, most people want outputs. I want $1 million. I want a big channel. I want this. I want this. I want this. They will never start a channel. They will never start a business. They will never do anything. Not hard to get $1 million like that. Okay. But then, like I said, there's even examples where you do inputs. Okay, I say, you know what, make a YouTube channel, make a big YouTube channel, and you do the inputs, and it's like, well, the channel's not growing. And of course, there's a lot of factors. It's like, okay, is there, do people want what you're making? Are the videos good? This. But still, I felt like I was making videos and I wasn't really getting the output I wanted in terms of like whatever views, subs. But now that I think I'm doing the inputs, I'm making the videos like I was before, but now I'm seeing views, I'm seeing watch time. Like, I'll say it again, that's all you need. That's it. So, but you will never get there if you do not do an input. So start with inputs, right? And then maybe 6 years later, like I did with this channel, if something starts to go well, you're on your way. I mean, because I really do feel like this. I shouldn't even say that. I want to say, like, I know, I have a knowing that this channel will be big, and I don't say that arrogantly or anything. I say that because I want to amplify a message, help, again, whatever that means, because that's going to change as I go about things. But obviously I have visions, like I talked about, like being in nature and, not being trapped in a room and doing this ASMR, so a lot more like scenic places for you guys to enjoy and stuff. And I don't even know what that's going to look like. Like I said, I haven't done much traveling, but like I'm ready for it, right? And now that I have these visions in me, I can see the path, and now I just see it as an input problem, and that's a problem you want to have, right? Because a lot of people, they won't ever do the inputs, and they'll never start to see an output. Like, think about it. I was making videos, and then I started to see the output, and now that I'm starting to see it, I'm starting to say, oh, okay, I get how this works. I'm going to go crazy on the inputs, and then I get the output. But most people will never get that. Like, you won't start to see that output unless you do the input. So if you want to start to see this feedback loop of like, oh, okay, I'm going to start, like, the first action is always going to be the hardest because it's not inspired. Like, it's easier for me to make videos now because I know there's going to be some people who watch them. It's not easy when no one's watching. It's not easy when you're not making any money, right? So it's this funny thing of like, you could sit here and be like, oh, well, you have it easier because you know people watch, and like, you're right. But I didn't always know that because this channel didn't start at 1,000 subs. It just recently got to 1,000 subs. So it's this weird thing of like, if you can just be dumb enough, if you can just be courageous enough to take the first action, the first step of something, you're on your way. Because the moment you start to say, oh, my business just made a little bit of money, or like, wow, the more I do this, the more I make money, the more videos I make, the more views I get, then it becomes this, oh my gosh, I did an input, I got an output, I did an input, I got an output, I did an input, I got an output, and then it becomes this loop of every time I do an input, I get an output, and now you're more motivated to do the inputs. But the problem is no one's motivated to do the inputs in the beginning because you don't get the outputs. You make a video and it doesn't get 1 million views on the first video. You make a business and it loses money. Whatever it is, you're actually like, you feel like you're literally losing, right? It's not just this like flat line. It's like, okay, I'm spending money on ads, I'm doing this, I'm doing whatever, and it's not working, or you're wasting your time, right? You're not wasting your money, but you're wasting your time. A lot of the times both. You're wasting your money and your time. But I'm just challenging you to think a little bit differently than you normally do, right? Because when you think differently, you act differently. When you act differently, you're going to have an entirely new life. And I really, I really do believe that because it's true, but I just keep thinking about this channel. I'm just like, I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know what this is gonna be. But I'm excited for it. And now that I have this vision for it, and of course the support, like, I love everyone who watches these videos. I have like literally the best viewers, and everyone says that, but you can literally see in the comments, like, everyone's just an absolute G. I want to tap you up. Just like that. Um, but, there's no tap emoji, I don't think. But, handshakes will do. But yeah. Yeah, so I inspire you. What was I gonna try? What was I trying to say? I implore you. Um, I guess I implore you to think. Just think on it, or don't think, just do, right? But start. I'm trying to think what I really want to wrap this up in. Like, what is the message? Start something new. This really would have been a better New Year's video, but this is. I talk about this stuff anyway, so. But yeah, even thinking about the new year, it's like, yeah, come on, man, like, do something, like, do something that isn't. It's so cheesy to say, if you do what everyone does, you'll get what everyone gets, or if if you want to get something that people don't get, you got to do something that people don't do. But it's just so true. It's like, I look around and I'm like, if I get anything that I get, how am I gonna say this? It's because I did things that no one else even thought to do. Like, no one just thinks about making an ASMR channel because there might be a lot of reasons, right? It's like, oh, it's weird, it's this, but even a regular YouTube channel, like, some people still think that's weird, or they think it's like childish maybe, or that's not a real job, and it's like all these little things. It's like, you can think that, but like, is that belief serving you? Like, you can say it's for kids, but why are kids making $1 million doing toy reviews? Like, whatever it is. So I challenge you to do that too, is like, question the beliefs around the things that, like, are the beliefs you have serving you, right? So if I say right now, start a channel, start a business, start this, and you have this immediate opposition of like, listen, buddy, why? Like, why do you have that? Because there might be part of you that wants to do something big, right? I think there's something in all of us that's kind of like, okay, I'm meant for a little more than what I'm doing right now. Even when you're probably like doing some crazy stuff, you still have this urge of like, okay, I'm meant for even more than this. Like, I did this, and I think I can do another thing. Like, there's no end, and I think we all have that. And a lot of us, our downfalls are beliefs. That's a whole other rant, and I actually would love to talk about that sometime soon. That's still something, again, I know I feel like I'm not the best to speak on it, but but still an interesting topic, right? Is that, we talk ourselves in and out of things in every scenario, whether it's good or bad, right? Some people just so happen to tell themselves the truth or the right things, right? But you can still, like I said, sit here and I could say right now, a YouTube channel will change your life, make a channel, do this, and you will just not do it because you think, whatever it is, whatever belief that's stopping you from doing it. So, yeah, again, never really know what this is going to turn into. I hope this inspired you, I hope this motivated you. Could have saved it for the new year, but I'm sure you'll be getting a rant from me then too, and that'll be a lot more. I'll be fired up. I felt good energy here. I just, for New Year's, we're going to really have to amp it up, I think. But, yeah, I'm not going to try to wrap it in a bow. Hopefully you heard what I said. I feel like when I try to like bring it full circle, I'm just like, okay, I said this, and I have to make it and synthesize it into one final point. And yeah, I said what I said, and I hope it resonated. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all of them. That would be pretty ideal. That'd be crazy if you did all that. If you did not enjoy, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ideally, all of them as well. So yeah, either way. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the rant, and hope you're doing amazing in life. Let me know in the comments. Again, highly recommend commenting. Love talking with you guys. And yeah, I think that's all I got. So much love to you all. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening as always. Drop a comment. I will reply. And with that said, I will catch you in the next video.